everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I want to ask you to please remember to like and share these videos if you enjoy what I do, and so others can also find them. And also, please remember to subscribe to the channel. And make sure you click that little notification bell so you can be notified of my next uploaded videos. Africa is one of the largest continents on this planet. It is the birthplace of life, civilization, healthcare, medicine, technology, science, mathematics, education, you name it. Africa has contributed everything to this world, and every country has benefited from what it has to offer. It has even contributed its people and their knowledge and their inventions to this world. But because of the richness of Africa and its people, it has been a target of many, and it has been utilized and taken advantage of to the point where the people who own the resources, the knowledge, the land, are not benefiting from it. It is outsiders who are. If you head north of Africa, there's a small continent called Europe. While the original inhabitants of Europe are no longer there in large numbers, those who inhabit it now have proven to be one of Africa's biggest enemies. Out of Europe have come a group of people who, on their own, decided to split up Africa and take the land and the resources for themselves, because on their continent they have nothing to offer the world. There are no natural resources. There's not much in the way of technology or invention that has come out of Europe that did not come from someone of African descent. The main thing that we can contribute to this world from the European is violence, destruction, theft, dishonesty, and so many other negative traits that you can think of. Their existence on this planet and on the African people have been that of a parasite. And I call it parasitism. And by definition, parasitism, which is a type of infectious agent, is a close relationship between species where one organism, the parasite or European, lives on or inside another organism, Africa, the host, causing it some harm, and is adapted structurally to this way of life. The entomologist E.O. Wilson characterized parasites as predators that eat prey in units of less than one. Well, the European who has occupied Africa has eaten its prey in units of more than one, that is for sure. But what happens when you've had enough of that parasite sucking you dry and making you sick almost to the point of death? Well, you get fed up, and what you end up with is a coup. And that's what we are seeing occur in Africa right now. That's what we are seeing occur on a smaller level here in America among the Black Americans here. You're fed up, you're tired, you're fighting back in the best way that you can. In Africa, taking back their country is the best way that they can fight. So what I want to do is just briefly go through the recent coups that have occurred in Africa over the last few years to show how people have just had enough, and this domino effect has just taken hold of Black people all over the continent, all over the world actually. So let's go back to the beginning. Let's start with the first coup, which occurred in Mali. Now, France occupied Mali in 1892, and they haven't let go. So on August 18th, 2020, President Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta was overthrown by the military, and a transitional government was formed in October of 2020. Then on May 24th, 2021, the president and prime minister were arrested, and Colonel Assimi Goïta was inaugurated as transitional president, and the junta has promised to return Mali to civilian power after the February 2024 elections. After Mali came Guinea. Now, France arrived in Guinea in 1882, and they have colonized it since 1891. But on September 5th, 2021, the military overthrew President Condé, and on October 1st, 2021, Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya became president. But coups began to spread even beyond West Africa to Sudan, who themselves were colonized by the UK and Egypt from 1899 to 1956. But on October 25th, 2021, military led by General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan removed the transitional civilian leaders who had been put into place after 30 years of dictatorship. Now, since he has taken power, there has been a power struggle going on. And since April 15th of 2023, General Burhan and his former deputy, Mohamed Hamdan Daglo, have been in this power struggle. But hopefully Sudan can come out of this power struggle with a good leader who's there to lead the people and who's not there for themselves, which has been the biggest issue with the majority of these African nations. France, England, these foreign countries, the US, have put in puppets to run the government so that they continue to live their parasitic existence. Now, after Sudan, in October of 2021, came Burkina Faso, who has been colonized by France since 1896. On January 24th, 2022, the military ousted President Roch-Marc Christian Kabore, and Lieutenant Colonel Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba was inaugurated as president in February of 2022. Then on September 30th of 2022, Damiba was ousted by the military, and Captain Ibrahim Traoré was placed as transitional president until the elections are held in July of 2024. After Burkina Faso came Niger. Now, Niger has been occupied or colonized by France since the 1900s, officially in 1922, but they've been there since 1900. And on July 26, 2023, members of the Presidential Guard overthrew President Mohamed Bazoum, and then General Tiani began to lead the country. And the Niger military has given a 3-year transition period before promising to return the country back to power to the civilians. But on August 10th of 2023, ECOWAS announced its intentions to deploy regional force. But luckily, the citizens of the ECOWAS countries are opposed to their country getting involved because they actually support the coups themselves. But now we get to this week. Gabon, who has been occupied by France since 1885, they have been colonized since 18 1885. All of these countries, the majority, have been colonized by France since the 1800s. France has been living its parasitic existence off of these countries. It has obtained its wealth off of these countries since the 1800s, not working for itself, not creating its own, but stripping those countries to leave them poor so that they can be wealthy, offering nothing but taking everything. So Gabon, like the other countries, have had enough. And on August 30th, 2023, President Bongo and his family, who have ruled Gabon as puppets for France for 56 years, were ousted. These last elections that were held, he was declared the winner. The elections were held on August 26th. On August 30th, he was declared the winner, while the opposition to him says that the elections were fraudulent. Now, mind you, the claims of fraudulent elections with him occurred in past elections, but they were ignored. But this time, the military, the people had enough. So moments after the announcement of him being declared the winner on August 30th, the military officers go on national TV and announce the dissolving of state institutions and closure of the country's borders. Bongo is then placed on house arrest, and General Brice Oligui Nguema is named transitional president. Bongo is not the only person under arrest. His son, along with 6 others, have also been placed under arrest for high treason. Bongo was seen in a video pleading for help from his quote-unquote friends, the people whom he have served and worked for as a puppet while his people suffered. He's begging for their help now. And the saddest part about him is he's not begging for help for his country so that it can become better, so that it can have everything it needs, so the people can become prosperous. He's begging so that he can get his position back, so he can continue to help the French become rich and prosperous and take advantage of the country, and he can put the 2 little coins that they give him for being such a good servant in his pocket to benefit his family. The problem with the leaders that have been in power, and even some of the older generation, is that you have become okay with your situation, and that fight that you should have is not there. But luckily, the youth in Africa, the youth in America, the youth all over are standing up and fighting back, and they're taking control of their countries. Now, my hope is that all of these countries that are now being controlled and ruled by the military, that the military keep their word, do what's best for the country, and allow the people to choose the leaders they want. And I hope you, the people, choose wisely. Take advantage of this opportunity to truly be free from your oppressors, and choose wisely who rules you next. And keep your oppressors out of your country, because there is nothing about them that is capable of thinking of other people and doing what's best for other people. Only themselves do they think of. Only their country do they think of. Most palm-colored people are not your friends. Anyone who comes into your country wanting your resources for as little as possible, or nothing, or offering you what looks like, glitter and gold in exchange for your resources, you should run far away from. Because just because they didn't come in by force and they're coming in offering gifts like China does not mean they're there for your benefit. They're there for their benefit and to gain control. And let's be honest, if they could have it their way, China would be your next colonizers, if they could. So I am proud of our people over there in Africa. Continue to take your countries back. Fight. Don't give up, and choose wisely and make smart decisions to move your country forward. And for the rest of the world, we all are highly connected today because of technology and advancements. And this world really does need to work together to survive. But just because we're connected doesn't mean you are owed the right to anything on the African continent. Whatever is there belongs to the people who are there. And if they choose to share it, that's their choice. If they choose not to accept it, go back to your country and live off of whatever resources you don't have. You did it before you started invading Africa. Figure out a way to do it now. Once they kick you out, figure it out, because whatever they have is not yours. They don't owe you anything. So guys, that's it for today's video. And as always, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment on what you think about today's story. I'll see you soon.